Hello guys, Deathroid88 back here. We are back with Let's Play OpenTTD. Now last time we played this, we connected several different other mines to the main line here. We did a little transfer kind of thing here, and we also added on a new line here. This will let us transport more down here. The other thing we also did do, we also added on this little transport here, and this will start producing us some steel if we decide to use that at any point. The goal today, probably be just connect more stuff, not quite sure what we're going to do with it, and we'll just see where it goes. So we'll just continue playing. As I had said earlier in the last video, I'm probably going to go for about $100,000, and that's after all debts paid off and everything. So we'll go here. And we're currently in a surplus right now, so that's a good thing. You can also see our loan increased here up to $550,000. So if we decide to build another massive train line or something, got the money. And let's see what else we can connect here. Got $276,000. Maybe we should go for another industry. I'm not quite sure. We can see if there's another coal mine somewhere in here that might work out. And we'll see where it goes. Now the other thing we can do too, we can also use this main line to transport steel as I was talking about earlier, because roughly this is making about 68 tons of steel per month. I think a train load's around like 210, so it'd be a couple months before we'd have a full surplus of it, or a full train load of it, and we could actually transport it to a mine. Not a mine, I mean a factory. So let's see if we can find a factory here. Ah, yes, right there. You can see these factories here. They accept grain, livestock, and steel, and that'll allow us to pretty much transport anything from a farm or anything from like one of these steel mills here to this factory here, and then it'll create goods. Now goods you can use, you can supply those to different cities and stuff, and that it's essentially a full cycle, and that's a pretty cool thing I like about this game. You can influence how towns grow and stuff just by transporting passengers, goods, etc. Um, so let's focus on maybe we should connect. Let's connect up we'll connect the factory here, and we'll have it transport some steel from this station. We'll also expand this station a little bit so it can handle another train from the main line, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we'll make this a 3. And I'm thinking the best way we can do this, we can probably shoot this off here for infeed, then outfeed can go back down here. So I will demonstrate this now. Alright, so if we do about 7, 7, and 7, we can shoot this off in this direction. Actually, we could probably shoot it off like that. Have you go straight into it, and then have you also go straight into it. And that can be our infeed there. Just a different way of making the station infeed. Not as efficient as what we have set up right now, but it'll work. And then we can have outfeeds here. We'll run 1, 2, 3. And then you can actually do these pretty cool little outfeeds here. And then we'll just have to run this line back into here. So we'll have that connect up there. We'll want to fix that little difference in height there. And I'm not quite sure where we're going to go with this. I think I'm going to aim for like 100,000 like I said in the last episode, but who knows. Could even have this end up going all the way until we get up to like the electric trains and stuff like that. And that'll be pretty cool. At least I think that'll be pretty cool, because then you guys can see everything that you can do in this game. The other thing we might want to get started on here too soon, we can do planes and stuff, and I can show you how those work. Boats, I mean, I never really use boats because they don't really transport a lot, and just for the speed that they have, it's not usually worth it at all, unless you're doing oil from like an offshore oil rig. Alright, so now we can set this guy up here. Then we'll have one there, one there, there. Do an infeed there. and then have it come from all the way right here. Now we can do these passing signals again too here, and that'll just help out a lot. It'll be a lot less, it'll be a little bit smoother when trains come through here, and it'll just make our life a lot easier because then later on we don't have to add these in or fix anything at all. We'll do the same thing down here with these guys. And the nice part about that, as I had explained in the last episode, you can actually take these and essentially if the train coming this way and the train coming this way have clear paths, instead of one train entering this little block right here initially, you can actually have both trains go through those at once. And now we can do our outfeed here. I gotta get rid of that little piece of train track there in order to put a signal down. And I don't know if we'll ever transport these goods to a city or something. We can connect an airport to this and then have it transport goods that way. Not as efficient, but it's pretty cool to do that. And we'll add another one of these signal blocks here. So that'll allow it so if it has any path either way, it's good to go. And then there's our mine, or our factory connected up now. And that's a different way to go about it. I wouldn't really do that normally, but that's actually pretty cool how that ended up. And as you can see, we're still making a lot of money because I'm still going at the normal speed, and we got another almost $200,000 just in the short time that we've been running the episode so far. And now we can set a train up to actually transport. So we'll go with a new train here. And then we'll want to use the flatbed wagons because those are the ones they use to transport steel with. So go steel, refit, it's actually 140. As the trains get to like the diesel and everything, the cars can actually handle more. And that's actually pretty cool because then you can run bigger cargo loads, and you can have these like 8 to 12 long, and the train will have no issue with speed or anything at all. Now the other thing I said I was going to do is I was going to expand the station. So we should probably work on that now. I've not really done this as much before when I've gone from this station and set it up because normally I run it through and then loop it back around. But there's other ways to go about it too. So we could do, we can equalize this guy out here. We can do sort of like an 8 in. So do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll shoot it in here. And then if we get rid of the signals here, then we can actually do this track. We can do that X again here, because then essentially any train that enters here can exit here, and then we'll have the entry-exit sign set up. And that'll just be another addition that we add on here. And there we go. So saying that that guy is occupied, so then we'll do that there, and we'll do it here too. Sort of only want it to do one at a time, so maybe we should just remove this signal here, so then that'll show that this train is here right now, and then that only one train can enter this at a time. And that seems to be a better way to work that out. And we'll fix this, of course, as it comes down to it, because I'll have to fix these two tracks here too. But other than that, we should be good to go. Looking like a double there and a double there. That'll essentially let trains to enter and exit anyway. So this block's taken up right now, and then we got this one free and that one free. Trains will choose the path with the least amount of distance, so when they initially come in here, they're going to want to go this way, and then they'll want to go probably this way, or they'll want to shoot on the track over there. And that's just a cool way of how this operates. And as you can see, we're getting quite a bit of steel now, and we can probably actually remove one of these trucks at some point. But if we keep it running, it'll slowly load up with steel here, and then it'll transport all the way back down here. We should maybe connect another one of those iron ore mines up, and that'll help with just transporting iron ore from over here to here, and then we can make steel faster. That'll help because then we'll have a bigger amount of trains that we can handle. or that's the way we have it designed. It's able to handle a larger amount of trains. So we'll go to this guy here, and we'll have to go down one on this guy. So I'll choose to go on this side. And then we'll just sort of equalize this entire path out up to the signals. We'll do the little double station like we've been doing before. Got to remove the signs here again. And then we can make our railroad crossing here. And all said and done, we should be able to transport a little bit more in steel and get that industry going. Because another requirement of this game, there are requirements for endgame, which is in like 2135 or like 2035, something like that. And essentially requirements, part of it's you have to transport like 10 different types of goods. So coal would be our primary one. Iron ore is going to be the secondary, and then steel is going to be the third. Passengers and mail also do count as those commodities there. So you can also set those up to work that way. And then those are two other commodities that you already have going. Do those pass signals through here again. Alright, and there we go. So now we should be able to hook a train up that goes from here all the way to here. We should probably also set a depot up somewhere in here, just so that this train doesn't have to go all the way down here, or all the way down here, and then come all the way back. Might not be a bad idea to set a depot up somewhere along here too. And that just allows our trains more places to exit if they need service, which is always a good thing to do. Make another 18, 19, 20. So we'll do 20 on the other side. The other thing too to note when you're doing any type of town growth, if you have one of these diagonal tracks here, you can't place roads across it. You can only place bridges. So usually when I'm trying to do any type of city growth or anything like that, I have to always build bridges over this kind of stuff just because it'll give you more room over it. And that's just another thing to keep in mind with cities, because sometimes you'll have that issue. And that's never a good thing, because then that'll limit the amount of growth the city goes through. And usually when you're transporting passengers, bigger cities are better, because then that's more passengers per month. And that's pretty much, passengers is the only commodity that won't go away. So at some point we'll have to change this up to transport something other than the coal and everything. But for now, it's working pretty efficiently. I don't usually try and think long-term initially in these games, because then you're just planning out way too much stuff, in my opinion. But that's just me. So we can afford another one of these. A couple of years here, we should be getting a new type of train engine, and that'll go a little bit faster, and we'll upgrade to that almost immediately. And that's pretty much going to be the fastest one we use until they come out with a little bit faster diesel train. And that'll help us a lot, because essentially you start out with the steam trains, then you move on to diesel, then it's the electrified, which you have to change over the railways, and then it's monorails, which you have to change over the railways again. And monorails are the fastest ones. If you look at the loading screen, the trains that are going really, really fast are always the monorail trains. And it's actually pretty cool, because slowly you can get this stuff to work out. And eventually, after a while, as you can see, we've already expanded quite a bit of a network. But you can eventually have entire parts of the map essentially be all just transport and everything. And as you see, we have 609,000, so we're about to make the first $1 million. Which isn't a bad thing. Made $542,000 last year in just trains alone, and we made another $6,000 in cars. As you can see, cars don't transport a lot, so it's not really worth it as much to transport with cars, but it works still. And if we go back to here, we can actually see steel now, and it probably wouldn't be a bad idea for us to add another train on here that transports steel. And as you can see, as you get to the bigger capacities, it does take a lot more trains, and then eventually you'll run into the issue where you have too many trains going through here, and like if one breaks down, you'll slow down like 8 of them. And I try to avoid that by adding multiple pathways, because eventually we'll run another big line like this down this way to something else, which works out pretty well. we should be good to go after that. That train even get down here yet? I think that guy is still coming. Maybe not. Yeah, and this is our... Yep, so that's our little train that we're using to transport that stuff. And see how this train stopped now? The logic there. That train's going through, this train's trying to go that way, so it doesn't really have any way to path at all. And then it'll do the same thing to this train because this train's going to try and come straight across. Alright, so then we have that guy loading up. And then we still got a lot of coal building up, so we can probably almost build another coal train. Just based off our capacities here. And that'll allow us a little bit more, but you can see another coal train is coming in. That's actually the first train we built, and that would have been probably about 10 years ago. So as you can see, trains usually run about 15 years before they run out of money. Then there comes the train with all the ore there. And we can set up, probably want to set up a run around on this station here too, like we did on the other one, but it's not necessary all the time if you know which way you're sending everything. And then we'll let this guy run a little bit longer, and then he'll run through here, and I should probably set that up, be a little bit more efficient. So if we put a signal there, as soon as that train passes that signal, next train come in instead of right there. A little bit more efficient in that way. Do I have this train? Okay, that was just our offloader train. So if we look here now, we got a lot of steel built up. We'll see where the next steel train is. Might not be a bad idea to add a third one on here. Then you see how this guy broke down, so now he's slowing down him there. Yeah, that always doesn't work out the greatest, but hey, what can you do about it? Eventually we'll get the trains that are like 8 and 12 long. You'll see these massive trains just transporting back and forth. But usually 4 is a good good size to start out with, just because it's the amount of tonnage, and that's a pretty good tonnage to go by. Alright. And we don't have any trains waiting, so that's pretty good. That's usually a pretty good thing when you don't have any trains waiting. And then that guy will fill up and head out. And then the next train will come in. And we'll probably want another train running coal right now, just because it'll help out a lot. And essentially, if you have stuff just waiting there and you have larger quantities of stuff just waiting there, that never helps you out. And then you see how here tells us the train last year, its profit was negative 4,000. Sometimes you can get that message when trains are just running these very, very long routes. So sometimes it can be misleading, but in most cases it's not. So now if we wait here, we got the train loading up. And at some point we may fill this entire station up with coal trains, like that guy right there. And then train will try and come in, train can't come in. And then you see we get this massive backup. Yeah, and this is a little bit of a roadblock here, and that doesn't help us out all the time. So I think the easiest way we can avoid this is if we get rid of that guy, and that'll allow this guy to run through. So we should rethink how this station works out here. We still got that train backed up, and so yeah, see how we got trains getting backed up now. We can shoot this guy off that way, and this is why I always don't like designing these this way, because it doesn't always work out. So now if I tell this guy to go, he should be able to get out of here. There we go. And yeah, I'll have to fix that here. So we'll have to do a little bit of train maintenance here. And then you see how that guy gets stuck there. We'll have to bring that here again. We'll have to shoot something off there just to fix it. And you see how these trains keep getting blocked up? I think the easiest way to fix this is if we add in some of these path signals here. That'll help us out a lot. There we go. That'll allow them to exit. Yeah, and then these guys are all backed up now because of this one train. So then we can probably convert this back over to this guy. And we'll probably have to shoot something off here that's like an entry track. I'm thinking that's going to be our best bet because then we can just do these long entry trains here. And then that'll allow us essentially back onto the railroad here. And that's probably going to be the most efficient way to go about it, because then we don't have to really worry about trains getting stuck all the time. So if we just go through here and delete this, well, yeah, get rid of that guy. Now we can actually run that onto here. These trains are going to think their logic out here for a second. There's a signal in the way there, so we got to remove that. Yeah, we got to bulldoze it actually. And then that should hopefully fix some of the issues we're having now. Because now we can run essentially this guy to go, have it set up to go that way, or to go this way. And that'll help out with just all the trains transitioning, that kind of stuff. So there is that. So we have 3 entry and we have an exit now. We could probably move that guy up one more. Because then you'll have an exit and you'll want to take the path of least resistance. This seems to be the more efficient way to go about things. So see, sometimes you can get these massive train network mess ups. If we throw those guys there, and if we throw the entry signal here, here, and here, it should allow us to bring trains in this way and then bring them out this way. That'll help us out a lot. So that'll be like, there we go. So then we don't need that signal there, we don't need that signal there. We'll just do one facing that way. That'll allow us to, that'll work a lot better hopefully. Because then we can bring trains in and have them exit essentially all on the same lines. Alright, so that's not helping us. We're going to have to stop you, stop you, stop you. And if we just go to here, we get rid of, if we tell you to reverse, that should fix some of our issues. And usually you have to mess around with these enough to get them to work. And if we get rid of the road signals here, right there, that should allow us, alright, so it's only going to want one in there at a time now. And we'll do that, because that'll give us green on all of these, but that's not quite what we're looking for. Yeah, and all these trains are just sitting there, so that's not helping us. So if we start that guy up, we start this guy up, we'll see how this works. So then we'll bring him in here, exit out, have you unstop, we'll have you unstop. And then we'll want to work on some other way to get these guys to work. So I have to delete this little part here. And we'll want to just delete that. Oh, okay. Want to reroute this guy. Only need a 1x4. Want to reroute him here probably, so then we can have a way to exit out of here. And this will be a little tricky to figure out, but it should work. So if we just start demolishing all this stuff, we can run a track like that. And now we can set this guy up to run to there. And then we can just delete all of this track here. And then that'll allow us essentially to, okay, that's not exactly what I was looking for. Do 3x7, that'll set that up there. We'll do a 1x4 yet again, that'll bring that in here. And then we can have this be exit. We'll bring it back around this way. And there's not really going to be a way to avoid not going under that station. So we'll have to bring the land down here, add in a little bit of a tunnel, and then we should be good to go. It'll be a little bit of a long route coming back around on this guy, but it'll work for now. Then we'll bring it this way. See, this is where you can have that issue with conflicting tracks. So usually what I try and do, since this is not our main line, we'll probably want to run him some different way. And then we'll make this our main line, so then this will shoot in right like that. And then we can come in here, get rid of all that, get rid of this stuff, and then essentially we have our exit set up now. And this is just how you have to go about stuff sometimes. I did just notice the video is a little over 20 minutes, so we'll finish this up, and then I will let you guys go. Alright, and then how are we going to get across here? Probably do a bridge. That'll probably be our best bet. If we bring it up here, there we go. Alright, so now that we got that issue figured out with this mine here, it'll be a lot more efficient. We'll be able to run more trains into here, and we can probably add on more stations if we need to. Alright, so I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you again. Please subscribe.